Welcome to Creative AF, a new series where I, Ruby from DottyDelightful.com, talk to amazing creative people about their lives, bringing you inspiration for your own creative dreams. And today I am so happy that my first ever creative interview is with the amazing Arizona, who I was lucky enough to work with at some point a few years ago now, maybe it is. And here she is, Arizona Smith. Hello.
Hey, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Ooh,
and what an honour to be your first guest.
Yes, it's amazing. So I know you do many things, but I don't want to describe what I think you do. I want you to describe what you do because you're the expert. So tell everybody what you do.
So I'm a self-taught artist, which means that I didn't study at university. I kind of found my own way to it. I do painting, drawing, all sorts of art making. I've recently made a tarot deck, and so I'm doing illustrated tarot readings as well. I've also recently started making rugs with rug punching, which is very, very fun. Basically, I'm trying to live a creative life. So whatever takes my fancy creatively, I try and have a go at it. Yeah.
Is there anything you've tried that you've thought, oh, this is awful?
There must be. There must be, but I've like deleted it. Things that are really precise, I'm just like, I can't do them. But then some of them I like I'll try and overcome it. Like I had a job where I had to do an installation. I had to make 184 origami butterflies.
Oh my God.
And then I had to teach a class of people how to make them. And like that is like the opposite of my skill set, right?
Oh no.
But I did it and I got through it.
Well done. That is really hard. I tried clay years ago and I hated it.
Did you?
It made me so angry. Yeah, I hated it, but I thought I'd love it. But
yeah, that surprises me. I can see you with your little potter wheel in the garden.
I've tried it again and I love it. So you're not ready for, I don't think.
Yeah.
And
it's true, isn't it? Yeah.
Crochet for years, but now
yeah, I've never tried that. I mean, to be honest, that happened with painting. For ages, I was like, oh, painting's just is intimidating, isn't it? Because like, you know, if you don't really know what you're doing, it's just like, it's a splodge.
Yeah.
It's abstract. But like, I did try and discipline myself to kind of do painting every day for a while, and now it's one of the things.
Oh, that's amazing. You're really good at painting as well. So your rug making is just incredible, and I've been watching your little videos. I've got to admit, quite a few times I rewind them and put them on again. Soothing about just watching it all come together.
Yeah.
How did you end up doing that?
Well, in a lot of my paintings, that I paint rugs, and Persian rugs are really important to me, like as a symbol, because my nan grew up in Iran for some of her childhood, so she has all these Persian rugs in her house. And there was something about the patterns when I was a kid that was like, I don't know, in retrospect, it was almost like they were like portals or something. Like the patterns, I would just spend hours playing on them and like being in the pattern. And I later found out that the word in Arabic for the carpet is the same as paradise. And so they're supposed to be like paradise gardens that everyone has. And there's like a kind of divine symbol in the home. So I've had this thing about rugs, and rugs as kind of like vehicles or portals. And that I've always thought like I need to make one. And then I got this little tool years ago. Sam's mum got it for me. And I just had no idea how to do it. And I thought, I'll do it later. And then last year, we got this studio, we got this space to do the New Earth School. So I suddenly had all this space, and I suddenly could unpack all these like stores of random art materials that I had. And I was like, oh, I should try it. And I follow this girl called Selby. She's Selby_hi on Instagram. She's a great rug puncher. And yeah, just got chatting to her and she gave me some tips, and then lockdown, so I'm off.
Brilliant. So
yeah.
I never knew that about Persian rugs. So that's why it's a magic carpet, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. I'll never look at a rug the same again.
I know that, they're really magic.
Yeah, wow. out. Isn't it funny how the things that you do when you're a little kid like follows you all the way through and then comes back in your creative way in some way?
I love that. It's funny how like particularly childhood and creativity go together. Like I'm just uncovering and uncovering more things that I completely forgot that I loved as a child.
It's amazing.
It's really strange. It's like unwinding or something.
Yeah, it is. Do you get like little flashbacks of stuff as well? Like if
Yeah.
you smell something, you're like, oh my God, yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that so much. We'll link that lady that you said, the Instagram rug lady. I'll link her in the comments. So tell me about your tarot deck, because that is just an amazing dream that you had, and then you've done it. And then the other day you got your first deck, didn't you?
Yeah, I got it here actually.
Yeah, show us. Yay!
Yeah, so this is just a test deck. I mean, there's a few little things that need to change, but basically it's done. This is the back and this is the front. And this is like, I chose the back because this is almost like the manual of how to do it. This is like, you know, I wanted them to be like visual meditations. But yeah, basically, I mean, I started doing like digital tarot cards a couple of years ago, and I was doing like a Tarot Tuesday, like a collective reading. And then yeah, it just built up more and more. So I've been looking into tarot for a few years, and then someone commissioned me at the start of 2020 to do the major arcana hand painted, which is like the 22 most kind of archetypal big energy cards. And that just gave me, I don't know, it gave me like the structure and the container and the confidence and the money, because it was a job, that made me think, oh, I could just do the whole deck. And so I did. So yeah, I did a Kickstarter, it went really well. I mean, I'm just learning more and more. I don't know if you feel this, but like you have an idea and you think, oh, I couldn't do that, or like I don't know how to do that. And then if you just do it anyway and just put one foot in front of the other, you can just do it.
Yeah.
And you don't need a PA and a binky bonk and a marketer and a like, you just can work it out. So yeah, that feels like a constant learning.
I think though we often have this idea, don't we, and we think we're going to go from now to the idea straight away, like we jump, and it never works. You can't do that, can you? So I think that's step by step. And also I often give myself talking to sometimes and think, if you don't do it, if you don't do anything towards that thing, it's never going to happen. So actually just do something, and if it all goes wrong, it doesn't matter, does it? Because you know. But I love that, and I'm so in awe of the amount of work as well that it's taken to get that deck. Yes, fantastic. I love it. So what did you use to create your deck with? Like what paint and your materials?
Alcohol inks gave these really bright colors. I tried a few different things. So there's a bit of acrylic in there, but yeah, mostly alcohol ink. And then I've got like I can't see it, but like my special inky pen that does all the outlines. And then I got these really like nice cards. So I did them all on actual cards. So I have all the originals like in a deck. And I think my kind of plan is to see if and when things open up again, to try and like exhibit those and sell the deck. Yeah,
that'd be amazing. That'd be really good.
Yeah,
because they're so vibrant, aren't they? They're like the colours in them.
Yeah, I try to do as much as possible hand drawn. Like I've had a friend who's moved bits about like on the box and stuff digitally, but basically everything's hand drawn, because I felt nervous of it, but I felt like I really wanted to make a deck that I thought was good work, but it wasn't like stylistically really proper, it wasn't like a photorealist drawing of a whatever, and to try and give that energy, because I think it's great that like all the magic-y stuff and the mindfulness stuff and like all that stuff's coming to the forefront and more people are learning about it, but what sometimes happens when things get commercialized is I think they get a bit like tepid, like and then the magic's sucked out of them, and so people aren't actually getting like I don't know, I think it takes away people's ability to use the tools themselves, because
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, I'm doing the actions, but you're not like feeling the lively stuff that comes from a wiggly line instead of a straight one, you know. So yeah, it felt a bit scary, because I felt like people would just be like, this is crap, but that's what I try to do.
And all your, I love that, because all your magic and essence has gone into each one of them drawings, and then there's no way that even on a subconscious level somebody else can't feel that. Like, you know, it's got to be in there, it's got to go in there. And I totally agree with that. I'm exactly the same. I love that it's opened up to so many people, but also it really frustrates me that there's something missing. There's that connection bit that's missing often. So yeah, I get that. Oh, don't get me on that. So,
we'll do another show on that.
yeah. So what are your favorite materials to use, like artistically?
I mean, it really changes. Like, I've got like a bit of synesthesia, which is when you kind of like your senses mix and you can really feel. So I've got this, I call it biteability, because I sense color and texture. It's almost like I can feel myself biting it. Like I did, that sounds really odd, obviously, but like it's almost like I can feel the density of it. So if it's got high biteability, then it's a good material for me, or a good color. So that's how I go. So something like a pastel, like an oil pastel, is high biteability because it's just got that like richness and creaminess, and it's just like lovely. Something more scratchy, no biteability.
So
But
charcoal be like really low.
that's a low biteability, yeah. Unless it's that really like buttery charcoal, you can get that. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean the things that I use all the time, acrylic paint, because it's cheap. I found out that if you go to the Skip, you can get free house paint, free emulsion, at least in London. So I get all my white to do all my bases is from that. And then I've actually really enjoyed paint. I don't know if you ever work with fabric paint, fabric ink. I find to paint with. I mix that in emulsion, and it is amazing. It makes amazing colours. It goes a really long way.
No, I've not tried that. I've tried it on fabric, but not.
Yeah, I've got these ones, these jacquard ones, that aren't the cheapest, but I've had them for like 2 years and they haven't run out. And I just mix a little bit, and it just creates a whole swoosh.
Ooh, that's a good top tip.
Yeah. And then I mean, now I'm just so into wool. Like, I've got this rug punching tool, and it's like drawing with wool, and it's just, I mean, you can create, I haven't done anything super detailed yet, but you can basically create what you would in a painting with wool, and that is very high biteability.
Yeah, I get
because that. You could just really feel it. It's 3D.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it just seems so smooth, like it's a pen. Like when you're doing it, like wow.
Yeah, really fun. Yeah.
I really had to stop myself looking it up and stuff, and looking at supplies, because I was like, no more.
This is the thing, isn't it? Like, you want to try everything, but then you just have to have like a house full of there's always another thing that you need. Yeah,
there is, totally. So how did you end up becoming an artist? I know you've always been an artist. That's a stupid question. I phrased that really wrong. What I mean is, how did you do it as your full-time job, career, whatever you want to call it?
Well, I guess I have always been an artist, but I sort of re-picked it up. Like, I think school stamped a lot of the art out of me, and just being a teenager did. And then I kind of slowly crept back towards it. And at the beginning, I thought I'd be a journalist. And that was partly because the people that had happened to me, I just thought that was a more proper thing to do, really. Right. Even though I'm from quite a creative background, I was like, if I want to do something proper, if I want to help people have a good job, I need to do something a bit more proper. I need to do an English degree and get that done. And so, in a way, the further I've gone to art, it's been the undoing of all that, and like the realization of what what's me wanting to do something and what's me thinking that I should do something. So even the year before last, don't know, we're in a time warp with the 2020, but at some point recently I did the foundation, a psychotherapy foundation, and I won't say never because I might go back to it because I like helping people, I like that modality, but I stopped after the first year because I was suddenly like, this is just kind of killing me because it's so much time not doing what is just like actually makes my heart sing, because I think that this is more worthy because it's almost harder. And it's like, you know, I'm going to a proper school and I'm going to be a, you know, proper person, I'm going to help people. Whereas actually I'm realizing more and more that when you're really doing what you should be doing, which in my case is art, you are helping people because you're more yourself, and you also have more time to help people in a more like, you know, tangible way, you know. So a couple of years ago, I had a 1 day a week job in a community centre producing like an arts programme for kids. And it was 1 day a week and it was taking over my whole week with stress because I was just like, because it wasn't me, you know, and I was just like, ah. And then I finally dropped that and everything just worked out. And the money came. I suddenly sold 3 big paintings that went to Arizona, actually. And yeah, it's just all gone from there. So I think it's just been a big lesson in confidence, really. And it still is a constant lesson in confidence, having the confidence to know what you need and what you want.
Yeah, totally. And also tuning in and trusting that it'll work.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
the most authentic people, and when I say authentic, I mean they're totally tuned into what they love and what makes your heart sing. They are successful, not in a proper person kind of way with, you know, your business suit and all that kind of stuff, but like successful in the way that every day you get to feel that immense joy, and when you share it with other people feel that joy. And I think there's something really amazing that if you are totally living in your own, what do you call it, like you're totally in alignment with what you're meant to be doing, you give other people permission then to go, oh, look at that Arizona girl, look at her making rugs, whoa, she's allowed to do that. And it's kind of like, oh, I'm allowed to do it. So I think it's brilliant.
Absolutely. I think that's the word, permission. Like I think I didn't realize that I had permission to do this, and now I'm like, oh wow, I can do it and it's great and it's working, and like we all can and we all should. Yeah, totally right.
Ah, it's brilliant. I love it. So what music do you listen to when you're working? Like, is it a massive, from like techno rave to hardcore jazz? Is that a thing? I don't know.
I if it's funny, if I'm in the flow already, like if I know what I'm doing. Oh,
Oh, you're back.
sorry,
There we are.
I'm back. Then I listen to quite backgroundy music, like Koshi chimes or the sea, or like or even just whatever's on my Discover Spotify playlist, but just like, but then if I kind of need to get into it, or if I'm really trying to like transmute some emotion, then I listen to really highly emotional music.
Okay.
So quite like soulful stuff. Like I don't know if you've heard of IBA. If you haven't, you should look. They're so amazing. They're these 2 sisters, and just like the power that comes out of them is like, and so yeah, I have a few really emotional albums like that I've listened to a million times, and I know they just make me get in the zone. So a lot of my paintings are named after lyrics from those kinds of songs.
Ah, that's amazing. I love it. This is a really hard question, but if you were stuck on a desert island and you could only have one album to listen to for like while you were stuck there, what album would it be?
Oh, that is a hard question. I'm just gonna say IBA because they're in my head, and I can't remember what I think their main album is called Ash, but yeah, I'd definitely do some paintings with that.
I'll check them out. I'll definitely check them out. I love listening to new music. So have you got any top tips for viewers? This can be any top tip about anything in the world.
Well, I think yeah, like betting on yourself and you can't lose, you know, giving yourself permission. It doesn't mean that you have to like quit your job, you know, but try new things. And I think what we were talking about earlier about kind of recapturing childhood is really important. Like a lot of people, you might not know what you like doing. Just try and think what you like doing when you're a kid, and allow yourself to just be silly. Like even if it seems really silly, or even if it's like going to somewhere, you know, the park that I used to go to, I think I cannot understate or overstate the importance of the childhood stuff. It really opens up the creative flow when that's been dampened. Um, I also think you don't have to spend loads of money, but having a nice range of materials that you're like pleased to see and pleased to play with is really nice. I think for most visual people, like having your setup nice, and it doesn't have to be anything grand, but like even a corner of the room that's just like you can spread your wings a little bit in is great. But yeah, confidence. I mean, there's a million ways to build up confidence, and it's a long road. But to me, that's like, yeah, a really important thing to spend time working on, because then the world just opens up and you realize that you're part of it and you deserve everything here.
Yeah, that's totally true. I always get people to think back to childhood and name the things that they did, because it's like kids just do it, don't they? They just know and they just do it, and you've not got all that I really want to swear, but I can't think of a different word. All that rubbish. You've not got all that rubbish that you learn over time. You just do it, and all the stuff I love doing is all the stuff I loved doing when I was a kid. It's incredible.
It's true, isn't it? I think of it like it's like you've got a big pipe cleaner and you're just cleaning the channel out from all this stuff, like all the crap that's, you know, piled up.
Yeah.
And just getting you back to being a human.
Definitely. I love that. And it definitely with having a creative space. So is the room you're in your room that you create in?
Yeah, it's funny because me and my partner just got like we're splitting a studio room that's quite cheap nearby. And I'm really in two minds about to move all my stuff there, because I've worked at home, you know, my whole life. And I like do my emails and I do a bit of painting, then I do a bit of this, then I have a snack, then I put the washing on. I quite like doing like that. And so I'm interested to see if I go to a studio and I try to be like, right, 5 hours of work and then home, whether that would work for me. But yeah, at the moment I'm taking over the living room.
Yeah, I agree. I've been thinking about getting an office, and then I was like an office / studio. But I think the same thing. I've had shops, like physical shops, and I love going in and decorating the window and making displays and taking pictures, and then I'm bored. I just want to go home. So I know that if I have an outside space where I have to go and create in, it definitely won't work for me. So it'd be interesting to see if it does work for you, because I'm the same. I'll do I might put on a little song and have a dance, go and make a cup of tea, do a bit of a painting while that's drying, go and do. But I think when you're in a space that is just for a workspace, you'll end up taking half your house there to make it.
That's what I'm thinking. But then I'll be, you know, at home in an evening thinking, I just want to do a bit more, and it's not here. But then it will mean that I can do like massive paintings, and I can be messy in a way that I can't at home. So that's what I'm interested in. I mean, I've never really done huge paintings, so maybe that will be my huge painting space, and I'll keep everything else here. Have it all, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd love a huge space where you can just splash paint around, and it doesn't matter if it goes on the floor. Oh, that would be so good. But then you end up with these giant canvases, and you're like, what do I do now? In fact,
I know,
in uni, I made these 5 foot by 3 foot canvases. I think 5 or 6 of them. And we've got them here, and they've just been in the basement for ages. And then our dog keeps waking us up in the night. So I actually built a fort around the bed with these canvases. From the outside, it looked awful because you could just see the back. But from the inside, when you was in bed, it was all these paintings around. I was
wow. Oh, that's so cool.
It's well good.
Yeah.
I thought, actually, there's a purpose to this. You could build little dens out of them and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Or just clad the walls of your room.
Yeah.
The more and more paintings you do, though, the smaller and smaller they move.
You're squashed. You're tiny. So what are your plans for this year? Have you got any?
So I'm still finishing the tarot deck, like just the boring side, really getting all printed. I'm working on the book now, and then that will come out in April. So that's the kind of like big goal for now. And then who knows? I'm thinking I might make a goddess deck, or maybe start making another deck. But I'm trying not to think about it yet. I'm trying to focus on one thing at a time. I think I do a lot of rugs. That's it, really. It'd be really nice to leave this house for a weekend or something. But yeah, I don't know, really. I'm kind of just 1 foot at a time, especially in this weird era that we're in. We were thinking about trying to make another like space, like New Earth School, which was this kind of a kind of community space, but I'm not sure really. Like, it's a lot with lockdowns and stuff, it could easily just bankrupt us. So
it's not a good time, I don't think, is it? Because it's just so uncertain. What do you miss the most about, obviously the stuff, but what's the thing that you're missing the most about lockdown?
Charity shops, 100%. 100%. And like the surprise, the surprise of going to the charity shop or bumping into someone, or like just a lot more could happen. But yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit like in the back of my mind, I feel a bit trapped. But I've always mostly worked from home, so in a lot of ways this isn't that different. And I'm quite, I love my friends, but I'm also quite solitary. So I do question myself, because I'm like, actually, could easily have just done this to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just nice having the option of doing things, isn't it?
I think that's the thing, in it. When the option's taken away, you want it more. Like, yeah, we work from home, and I really don't go out and do that much, but I really miss going out for Sunday breakfast, or just popping in the library and looking at books that you don't have, silly things.
That's true. Yeah, being able to see stuff, like even art materials, because I don't when I'm looking online, I'm like, what size is that? I don't know. How biteable is it? Very important. Don't know. There's something about being able to touch things. Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? I find that the art shop where we live was open, but you couldn't go in. You just had to wait on the pavement and tell him what you wanted, and it was just a nightmare, because I'm going, can I just feel that? Can I just use that? And
yeah. Yeah, it's not the same.
No, not at all. And then now obviously it's totally shut, which is annoying. But yeah, just silly things. Who knew that this was going to happen? Like,
I know, yeah.
But I've got to say, this might not be popular opinion, but I'm really let down by the pandemic, because I've watched that many movies about like zombie apocalypses and, like Mad Max style things, that actually it's nothing like that. We've been lied to.
It's true, yeah. I'm still waiting.
Yeah. Have you done that thing where this is really funny, but I used to think, right, if there was like an apocalypse, which building would I take over? Which would be the best building? And I realized that it'd be Marks and Spencer's, because they had a cafe bit so you could cook stuff. They had like all the homeware bits so you could be cozy. They had all the food halls so you'd have loads of food. Plus they always have their own buildings, like they're all secure and stuff. So yeah, it's a really
that's a great idea. I never thought about that, but you've convinced me. I'll have an M&S as well.
M&S for the win.
Yeah. We'll start scouting them out.
Yeah. Well, it's been amazing, and I just love talking to you and listening to you as well, because it's so nice. I think this being at home and creating and stuff is all well and good, but then to connect with other creative people, it like sparks a bit of something extra.
Yeah,
so I love
absolutely.
it. Have you got any work that's at hand that you could show us?
I've got this drawing that I just did.
Oh, that's cool.
So I didn't say, but most of my drawings and paintings come from dreams or images or like meditations. I've been doing more and more like shamanic work, so a lot of them are from that. Show you a few more cards.
And where will people be able to get these, you know, when they're ready in April?
I think I'll sell them on my Instagram, and then I think I will, like you, I think I'll make an Etsy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if people follow me on Instagram, then I can show them the way.
Brilliant. I'm quite surprised you don't have an Etsy already.
Yeah, I had one years ago, and I just didn't upkeep it. And I think because I make so much work and it changes so much, listing things, and you must have this as well. Listing, it just takes up, even on my website, I'm like taking photos, finding everything, and then someone buys something and you're like, where's that?
Yeah. Oh, now that's gone.
Yeah, but I think once I've got the tarot deck and I've got a few things that are just like products, got a lot of them, then I'll do that.
Yeah, and your rugs will go really well on there as well, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
That'd be super. So have you got plans to make huge rugs, or do they have to be a certain size to fit is it Hessian you use at the back?
Yeah, they have to be the like, they have to fit in the frame that you have. So my friend just made me a bigger frame for this commission I'm doing, but I want to make a massive one. Like, I want to make a rug size one. I just need, he's going to help me build a frame that's going to, like, it's so big that you can kind of stand at it.
Oh, that'd be really good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm still learning how to do it.
I wonder if there's like a thing that you could hang it on the wall somehow. You know, if you had like
you could hang that's it. What I was thinking. I think if I make the depth of a frame wide enough that the needle, you know, doesn't hit the wall, then I could just hang it, and then then they could be any size.
So good. Oh, I love it. So it's been amazing. I love it. Oh, I've got one really important question. It's not that important, but I like it. What is your favourite go-to drink for when you're working in the studio?
Oh, and that changes as well, like everything else in my life. I mean, decaf coffee is just, I always have decaf coffee, cold by the time I'm drinking it usually. I just got a teapot for my birthday with a herb strainer, which I'm very excited about. So I'll probably have a funny medley of herbs happening, lemon balm, and I've got some blue lotus. Or, I mean, hot chocolate when it's cold. Can't beat a hot chocolate.
Have you tried, I've been doing this new thing where I put a spoon of chocolate into my coffee. Oh my God, it's life-changing.
Okay, I'm going to try that. Is that a mocha? Is that what a mocha is?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought
I'm going to try that.
When they sprinkle it on top, but maybe they'd mix it in. I don't know. I've never had one.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Really, really nice.
Okay, I'm going to try that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Well, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for joining me and all the viewers on this first Creative AF.
Yay!
Need a little jingle to go with it, so I'll make that.
We'll just do the dance jingle. Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's always fun chatting to you.
Thank you.